For this video, we'll dive into the truly amazing performance from two of my outdoor windmill sculptures, and we'll also get them repaired and tuned up for another turbulent year. I've always had a fascination with windmills, from those old canal pumping windmills in the Netherlands to working farm windmills across the Midwest. I even loved to play with pinwheels as a little kid. Well, definitely more than this kid does anyway. So after my wife and I visited Holland a couple years ago, I got really motivated to try and build an outdoor kinetic wind sculpture using wood. And even though I didn't have any experience with designing or engineering windmills at all, I was like, heck with it. I'm going to try it anyway.
Coach, I miss anything?
That's it, baby. Let's go!
With the memory of tulips and windmills still in my head, I started to develop a design idea for a double-sided spinning flower that used tree leaf shapes for wind vanes. I didn't know anything about windmill engineering or blade design or optimal vane angles or how to manage rotational friction, but I really wanted to try something new, build a working sculpture like this, and not have it fall apart on the first windy day.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
I was comfortable with pretty much any activity that required woodworking, but it was the rotational mechanics and the wind vane design that had me scratching my head. So, with thousands of hours spent in the library researching aerodynamics and kinetic windmill engineering...
Are you serious?
Okay, so I only spent about a half an hour on the internet digging into snippets of information like optimal blade angles and reducing rotational friction with high-speed bearings, but I started to develop a basic idea for a 40-inch wide double-wheel windmill with curved wind vanes in the shape of tree leaves. My chances for success? The project took weeks of stops and restarts, trial and error, and even some colorful language.
That is
But I eventually got the curved brass and wooden leaf windmill to work, and it actually worked pretty well. It seemed to turn easily in very light winds, spun dangerously faster in normal daily sustained winds, and turned into spinning wheels of death during high wind or stormy days. I even started to count the revolutions and timed them to see how fast it was turning. The performance numbers are actually shocking.
I feel shocked.
My leaf windmill measures out at 39 inches across, which translates into a circumference of about 10 feet. If it were a wheel and it rolled 528 times in a straight line, it would travel a mile, or about 1.5 kilometers. That's pretty cool, eh?
No.
While Michigan has an average sustained wind speed of almost 10 miles per hour, windier days really get the windmill to fly. I manually timed and counted revolutions, and it can spin anywhere from 14 revolutions per minute on light wind days, or crank up to over 90 RPM on really windy days. If it were a wheel, it would roll anywhere between 38 to over 250 miles per day. That's just nuts. Crazier yet, I only keep the sculpture outside 7 months a year to avoid the ice and snow, and I still get these ridiculous numbers. When I calculate out the average windy days and light breezy days, my leaf windmill sculpture will spin more than 10 million revolutions and roll more than 20,000 miles in a single season. That's 4 trips to Rome, or 12 treks across the US, and after 2 years of running, about a loop and a half around the globe. Just amazing.
Oh, yeah?
Even if my wind estimates are overstated and we just take the published Michigan annual average at 10 miles per hour, which is considered to be a light breeze, the windmill still spins at 30 revolutions per minute, or 18,000 miles in a year. A year after designing the leaf windmill, I had a crazy idea to build another outdoor kinetic sculpture, but this time in the shape that has no aerodynamic business working in the wind. An egg. This was more of a what-if exercise than a real design plan to make a working wind sculpture, but I loved the possibility of designing something like that made completely out of wood. I chose lightweight yellow cedar for that project, which was risky. Cedar is a good outdoor, wet conditions variety of wood, but it is really soft, and I wasn't sure if it would hold up as a kinetic sculpture. Could it actually work?
When pigs fly.
I used that same 35.5 degree optimal angle for my flat cedar blades and offset those angles on a center hub. Looking at it from the side, it looks like it shouldn't be able to spin in the breeze at all, but it does. In higher winds, the egg sculpture is just a blur, and I could never really get a decent estimate of its rotational performance. It does look like it definitely spins faster than the double leaf wheel windmill. It is pretty cool. So now that you know the origin story, it's time to evaluate the wear and tear, any visible stresses on the sculptures, and then fix any damaged parts that need attention. The double leaf windmill was first, where both spinning wheels are held together by a single threaded rod, and they still turn pretty freely on rollerblade bearings. The Brazilian Ipe hardwood that I used really held up well in wet conditions, though after 2 years, it looked and felt pretty dry. I could see that the curved brass rods were a bit tarnished, but I like that patina and decided to leave that alone. I could also feel that a few of the brass rods had a little movement in their glued joints, but they still held their position and didn't twist or pull out of that joint. I had originally scored those brass rods 2 years before to help grip the glue and the joint better. That seems to have worked pretty well. When checking out the bearings, it was a bit of a surprise that the wheels turned pretty smoothly, but I could hear an almost imperceptible ticking sound coming from one side. I couldn't catch that with the camera audio, but I could feel it in my hand as I rolled the bearing. You'll just have to trust me on that.
I think not!
It was easy enough to replace both, as rollerblade bearings aren't really that expensive. I added some lithium grease inside the ring seal of each bearing. The grease will slow down the spin rate a little bit, but that's not a bad thing for this heavy monster of a sculpture. I also had some glue maintenance to do on the brass rods and the leaves, filling in the little cracks and gaps and solidifying each joint. Before putting the whole thing back together, I did a little light sanding to remove any rough edges or wood grain and recoated all those wooden parts with teak oil. For the egg, I could see that a few hairline cracks had started to form on certain areas of the cedar, but none of them had gone through the full thickness of the wood. A little more CA glue will help stabilize those cracks and seal out any water that might weep in. Using CA glue gives off some pretty nasty fumes too, so I had to open the windows and take some proper precautions there.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
The bearings seem to be in pretty good shape after only a year outdoors, but I decided to add some lithium grease inside the sealing rings here too, just to add some more protection against moisture and corrosion. The original wooden post that I had mounted the egg sculpture on last year was a little bit too whippy in the wind, so I decided to beef up that mounting post with steel, though I'll need a different header on top of the pipe to mount the top and provide a base for the egg. I'll have to hit the wood lathe to help me round out a piece that will fit inside the egg and then not interfere with the turning wind vanes, and that cedar topper will fit over the new steel mounting pipe. I also gave the cedar vanes a light sanding to smooth out some of those rough and dry areas and where the exterior spar urethane had worn thin. I then added another few coats to protect against UV damage and the discoloration of this cedar. Once back outdoors, the leaf windmill went back on its steel garden post, and I drove in the new steel post for the egg windmill. It actually does look pretty great on top of that black pipe post. Now, we just need some decent wind to get both of these sculptures started again. Hey everybody, thanks very much for watching. All of our video content is free. We don't ask for memberships or donations, so your thumbs up, a subscribe, and your comments really do help our channel grow. I appreciate your support. Take care.